and it's gotta be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the only thing that's soothing my soul. Turn on the TV to Power Rangers. Now it's morphin' time. I'm ready to go.
We're here to talk about predictions, okay? So last show we talked about our favorite theories. Now we're going to talk about your theories. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and saw a lot of the theories that are out there. We're going to real quick discuss each one of these. I've got 10 of them. So the Color Commentary crew is just going to give real quick answers to whether they think these things are going to happen or not. Obviously, we don't have time to discuss all of them, but we're going to at least talk about it a little bit. Okay, here is theory number one. This is for you, Chuck, real quick. Will there be any connections to the Fox properties? X-Men, Fantastic Four, Galactus, Civil War. Your quick 30 to 45 second answer on that, sir.
No. I don't have no tie-ins. I guess the only tie-ins that they could, I think they might use a villain. A villain that was used by Fox. I think they're going to use that to be a bridge, maybe like Dr. Doom. I didn't use him on my last theory, but they're going to have somebody that's tied to the other universe or the other properties that I think will help tie in the next group of people that bring it out. Because I think they're bringing out Fantastic Four. That's what I've heard the most. They're bringing them out before X-Men and stuff. So.
Okay.
And I know their biggest foe is Dr. Doom, I believe.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Any connections to the Fox properties?
One, I certainly hope so. And I think it will be smart if Marvel does do that because it will garner more money for them. If we go into the Endgame where they plan on going, we're going to be introduced to characters that people haven't grown up with. Like people, like the average Marvel comic universe or film watcher hasn't flipped open a comic book at all, probably in their life. But they know about Spider-Man, they know about Hulk, they know about Iron Man, they know about Captain America. But if you bring in some of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in, you still have familiarity, instead of worrying, as opposed to them getting introduced to Adam Warlock, the Skrulls, and whoever else is out there in outer space. Bring in some more guys that the world is familiar with to make more money.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's going to be any connections to the Fox properties at all, particularly when they have said that it's going to be at least 5 years before they bring in the X-Men. I think that Kevin Feige and crew has got way too much on their plate with the characters that they currently have. There's no reason to rush into that type of stuff. All right. Question number 2. Time travel. This one's going to go back to you, Frank. Will there be time travel? And if there is time travel, will it go back to the Battle of New York at all?
Yes, I think it will. They will be battling at the Avengers base. That's where the battle will be at. I'm not a big fan of time travel a lot in a lot of movies. That's like, to me, sometimes it could be a form of laziness. But sometimes it does kind of helps with the plot holes. So if they're going back in time to get some Infinity Stones, I think to get the Infinity Stones, time travel will be involved. If they're going to get another set of Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos. So in some capacity, I do think so, but I really don't. I really hope not. I hope that they can beat Thanos straight up without going back in time.
So basically, you think that there should have been time travel in the movie Little to finish up those those continuity errors.
That magic wand is so you don't even need a whole gauntlet, Rashad. You just need a magic wand, bruh.
All right, so what about you, man? Will there be time travel? And if there is time travel, are they going to revisit the Battle of New York?
Yes and yes. I think I think it's definitely going to be time travel. Just because that's what most comic books use when they want to change some big catastrophe, something that's horrible has happened. They always go in time, I don't think we're going to the alternate universe thing yet, but I definitely think they're going to go back in time to do something with these Infinity Stones. And that was the biggest movie that's what brought the Avengers together. So since this is the end game, of those core Avengers, I think it'd be the best way to do the Endgame is have them go back to the beginning when they came together, and have some type of tie-in with that. So yeah, I think they're definitely gonna go back to New York. So New York's gonna get round 2 of a beat down. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Okay. Yes and yes for me as well. If there's no time travel in this movie, I think that is the very biggest thing that everybody thinks, that there's going to be time travel, particularly since the thing that sets it all off is with your girl, what's her name, the original Wasp, excuse me, Michelle Pfeiffer, saying, "Watch out for the time things or whatever." Plus the time stone. So I think that they have left that open for us to be able to see. And I do think the marketing has shown enough for us to think that there will be something with the Battle of New York. I think the biggest thing towards that is I was watching somebody's show, and there's this clip where Iron Man is asking Captain America, I think, "Do you trust me?" And Captain America shakes his hand. He says yes, and then shakes his hand. But the yes and the shaking his hand are not the same scene. Have you seen that? Because the yes is obviously Captain America, but the hand is actually Ant-Man's hand. Because if you actually look at the video and look at the uniform, that's Ant-Man's uniform, not Captain America's uniform. So I think that what they've done there is that is Tony asking an old Captain America, "Do you trust me?" And they're
like
switch
one from the one that was on the Battle of New York.
Yeah, exactly. The sorry one.
The sorry one.
Iron Man fly up on him. It's like, "God, I forgot how beautiful that you were."
Hey, get you some upgrades, bro. When Winter Soldier about to start? Okay.
Right. Yeah. All right. This is back to you, Phil. Will Ant-Man go back and forth through time several times if there is time travel?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a one. Well, I think okay. I'm gonna actually change my answer. Yes, I think he will go back through, because I don't really think he knows how to go through time yet. So I think he's gonna go back and see things differently, and then is able to kind of go to the future or the present day to try to help change it. Now that he actually knows how to work the time loops or time vortex, whatever happens in the quantum realm, as Rashad says. So I think he might go at least twice in time travel.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Will Ant-Man travel back and forth through time several times?
Before the show, you had shared that theory with me, Rashad, and I didn't come across that. I was one of my theory that I thought of myself and came across along YouTube and reading internet articles on Reddit is Ant-Man going by one time. So hearing multiple times, based on what Charlie said, that makes more sense than going one time, because he hasn't mastered it yet. He's trapped in a quantum realm right now, and so how can he? So yeah, he hasn't mastered that yet. So I'm not going to regurgitate what Charlie just said. I definitely will co-sign everything that he said. That he will go multiple times until he figure it out, but he will be integral in the Avengers defeating Thanos by going through time.
Okay. And I like that new word, integral. So, will Ant-Man go back and forth through time? My answer to that is I don't know. I really don't have any idea. It kind of makes sense that it would happen, that he'll... What is that movie? It's kind of like Days of Future Past. You see the original thing where basically they keep sending Bishop back in time because they keep getting found by the Sentinels. So it could be something like that. Everybody dies, he goes back in time again. But I really don't know on that. All right. This one is for you, Frank. The Avengers will take on Thanos multiple times. So whether it has to do with time travel or not, that they're going to fight him, they're going to lose. They're going to fight him, they're going to lose. It's going to take several times of them fighting him before they finally win. What do you think about that?
Well, the movie is 3 hours long. It's about to be as long as Titanic. We got to get some extra popcorn. We got to get some extra sodas. We got to get some extra candy, and we're going to have to use the bathroom way ahead of time. So yeah, if that's the case, yeah, the movie's 3 hours long, and it's going to be that's going to be the reason why. So based on the length of the movie, yeah, I think I can rock with that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck? Will the Avengers take on Thanos multiple times?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do you one better. I think they're gonna take on Thanos multiple times, but then they're also gonna team up with Thanos as well somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that twist. Now you gotta be thinking about that Gamora thing. I'm like, you're right, not Gamora, but Nebula. I was like, okay, that could possibly happen. Cause I know it did happen in the comics. They teamed up to stop her, and she was going straight crazy with that gauntlet. So if that happens, they may have to team up with dude. That would be awkward. So you trying to kill him and still fight off her? It's like, I don't know. That would be weird. Cause he's way past Loki hate. He on a new level hate. He just killed everybody. They going to rehab and everything. Stark has all got shakes.
Yeah, Falcon talking about this is awkward. Yes, I do believe that the Avengers will have to take on Thanos several times, but I do think they're going to beat him. Well, that's for the next question, actually. And I do believe that they're going to have to team up with Thanos. I think that would be perfect. I mean, the comic books again have set it up for it to be that way, and it would just that's great writing right there, because I can't think of anywhere in the movies that we've seen so far where that has happened. That used to happen in comic books sometimes, like Megatron and Optimus Prime teamed up a couple times. It would be interesting to see that in the movie form. So cool. All right, this one is going back to you, Chuck. Is there a greater threat than Thanos?
I think at the beginning of the movie, no, but then by the middle or end of it, I think there will be some type of threat that they're all going to have to work together, kind of like what I just said. So I think there will be a greater threat, and there's going to be some major sacrifices. So some people ain't coming back. I don't think everybody's getting wished back. It's not Dragon Ball Z. So some of these are not going to be on the next episode.
Okay. What about you there, Frank?
Either way, two ways I see this. I think there is going to be a greater threat because one, we know that this is the end game. This is the end of an era. This is the end of the last 10 years of the current Marvel comic universe, the last 11 years of it. So there's got to be an enemy beyond Thanos. But if there's not, it goes to one of my theories that I forgot to mention earlier was that Thanos get defeated by the Avengers and he maybe just gives up on life and just says, hey, I'm just going to switch myself with the Soul Stone with Gamora and get trapped in the Soul Stone. But he'll still be alive. So that means that a greater enemy could get him out later. That's why there's a part of me that thinks that Thanos is not going to die because there's a greater enemy. If he does die, then the greater enemy found out about it and want to know who these powerful people are. So there has to be somebody out there that is a greater threat.
Okay. Well, if you watched the last show, you definitely know how I feel about that. I definitely feel that there is a greater threat. And I've mentioned two of those. I think the first greater threat is going to be Nebula. Please watch the previous show in order to find out my details on that. I think the other greater threat will be World Breaker Hulk. I think that's going to be a real problem. Everybody that was complaining about why the Hulk was so weak, can you just calm down 1 second? I think you're going to get all the Hulk.
You know what?
Get all the Hulk that you could ever want in this movie.
That's good because I even though you just said that the last show, I forgot all about the Hulk again. He's going to be such a surprise because he wasn't in the other movie almost at all. So it's he wasn't there.
Yeah.
That would shock a lot of people.
That's a good transition. So since you're talking, I'll keep it with you there, Chuck. The next theory is Loki has been the Hulk the entire time. Is that he's been Hulk.
No, I don't think that's true. I'm going to go false on that one.
Any reason why?
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I think Loki's important, but I don't think he's going to be like some type of whole mischief thing. I think the Hulk really has his own problems and issue. So I think they want to make sure Mark Ruffalo has his due in these movies since he doesn't get his own standalone movie. So I would hate for it to be like really Loki the whole time and like Mark is like in a cocoon somewhere just chilling, Or so I don't think that's true. I'm about to go false on that one.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Loki has been the Hulk the entire time.
I don't believe it. I'm more in the belief that Hulk and Banner might end up splitting. So there's that Loki could be one of them because that's for me. That's my mind where I'm going with the Hulk. Yeah, I haven't put much thought into Loki even being him because I was just never sold in Loki even disguising himself as a Hulk. Yeah, why would you just hang around the Avengers? I think it's to the point that Thor could probably even sense him if he was one of them at this point.
Yeah.
Say again, was it Thor what?
Yeah, I think Thor would be able to sense Loki.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Especially Doctor Strange. He did go right to Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You would have figured that out real quick.
I hate to call other people's theories dumb. I think that's the dumbest theory I've heard, and I don't know where that came from. It's ridiculous. What? Loki is Thor? It's the Hulk? That's stupid. They spent the whole movie with Banner talking to the Hulk. Yeah. Why would they do that? Why would they say, "Hey, I need to transform"? No, just kidding. I'm actually Loki. That's stupid. Yeah, one thing if like he was doing that in front of people, but every time that the Hulk said no, that was a private conversation between the two of them. Yeah. When you saw him trying to transform the first time, he wasn't talking to the Hulk. He was just like, "I need a moment here," But after that, you saw multiple times when he was talking to himself, saying, "I need to transform a Hulk. We need to work this out." So that's stupid that would be Loki. So yeah, that's dumb. All right, I just want to get that one out the way. All right, let's take it back to Frank Puna, Big Tuna. This is a new one that I saw. Kind of interesting. Ultron is coming back.
I would love for Ultron to come back because at the Age of Ultron, everything it would tie into what Ultron was trying to do. Ultron saw the Infinity War happen before it happened. That's what he was setting up everything for. So yeah, it would make more sense to me. It would be probably one of the best tie-ins because that would tie in the Endgame to the Age of Ultron tremendously. That would be like I would give 2 thumbs up to the writers and the directors if they even pull that off. I love that theory right there.
What about you, Chuck?
And he just said that. I'm like, what if Ultron gets the gauntlet? Like he comes back, he gets the gauntlet. And it's like a whole like Age of Ultron type of thing they have to fight through. Like we're thinking like the big threat is Gamora. What if it's Ultron? Like that's also a thing on the game. I remember on the Capcom and Marvel game that they had, and it was Thanos working with like members of the Avengers to fight Ultron because he fused with like the baddest person in Capcom, and they had like a whole story arc with them going against Ultron. Like Ultron's like the big bad with the Infinity Stone, and Thanos is actually working with the Avengers as a team. So that would be something. That would be something right out of left field. Like if they brought him and made him maybe a part of the big bad or another threat that they all had to mount up to beat. That would be crazy.
Okay,
that would be crazy.
I think that Ultron could make an appearance. I don't see him as being a big bad. I think he would do something like Red Skull. Like he would just show up and you were like, oh, smack. Like Ultron is still around. I mean, because for what reason would Ultron be gone? He's a computer program that can copy itself multiple times. Why would, and go all over the internet, why would destroying a couple of his bodies in Sokovia get rid of him? I mean, they definitely, the comics have left it open that he always comes back over and over again. And if you look at Spider-Man Homecoming, there's one time where I think it's Happy. He picks up one of Ultron's heads, and the head actually has its lights are on. The eyes, are glowing or something. So there's no reason for Ultron to be dead. But again, I don't see him as being a main bad. I just think he will be maybe in the movie. All right, let's go back to Frank Puna, Big Tuna here. The Avengers will make their own Infinity Stones. What do you think about that?
Let me ask you, Charlie. So I haven't heard much about how would they go about making the Infinity Stones themselves? Where would they get that kind of?
The only way I can see them doing that is like they would do like the time travel thing. Like they go back in time and get those versions of the stone in that time, and then bring those stones back to the present day to counteract with Thanos. That's the only thing I can think of them being able to make their own. Because I mean, they're things that were created, when the galaxy was created. So I don't. At least that's what Doctor Strange said. There he goes. You all right? Thanos got you.
He don't change. Yeah, he don't change those.
He didn't change those. Okay.
Questions. Don't you see I'm changing clothes every 30 seconds here?
So, that's the only way I could think. But go ahead, Frank. Maybe the answer.
Yeah, but you actually try to clear it up a bit. What I asked Charlie Rashad was, if they create the Infinity Stones, how do they go about creating it? Who has this power to create some new Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos? Like, where are these new ones coming from? Unless they go back in time and get some that was already created by the Celestials or whoever they are, I can see that. But a set of Infinity Stones created out of nowhere, nah, I don't believe that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I think it's possible that they could, if they do the time travel jump, they could possibly go back and collect those Infinity Stones. And I'm assuming that it's going to be a separate universe because they're going back in time. It's like duplicates of everything. So maybe they'll bring those back to the present day that they're in to fix their timeline. I mean, that's the only way I can see them doing that. But I don't know. The movie is 3 hours long, and like we have a couple shows of theory, so who knows what's going to be in this thing? It's like, but you just don't know. Anything can happen. Sure,
every single one of these theories is right. We got Kang, Ultron, World Breaker, Hulk, all of that.
Everything is happening.
Infinity Stones. I think it's possible. Somebody said something about a Tony Stark Infinity Stone toy. I really don't want them to go that route. I mean, because as far as them creating that would be something that like Tony Stark and Shuri and at least those two and maybe Banner would work together to create. But I think that's way above their heads. Like if they can just create that level of tech. I mean, you're talking about universe altering technology.
Yeah, it's like
that's too much.
Tony and them just learned how to fly in space. I mean, like they just been out of their own orbit, but in the spaceship. But they can't just jump that far ahead. I'm like, I know they're smart, but they're not that darn smart.
Yeah, so I don't see that happening. But more importantly to me, I don't really want that to happen. Okay, back to you, Chuck. This one is one that's close and dear to my heart. Shuri was dusted.
No, I don't think Shuri was dusted. I don't buy any of that. Just like last year when they had Hulk fighting in Wakanda. So we know they'll go through any means to try to make you believe something is happening. That they'll come over here like a magician and fake you out. And you're looking over here and they come over here with something. So. Yeah, I don't think she's dusted just because the reason I don't think she's dusted is because she's too important of a character not to show her being dusted. It's not like she's like one like the Dora Milaje or some random, warrior out there that you just see in the battlefield get dusted up. I mean, she's like literally probably like the second most popular person on the Black Panther property. So I mean, they would at least give her some type of due, like maybe her in her mama's arms, and then she gets dusted, make you really feel something. So I think because they didn't show anything like that, then she's still around. She's going to show up and do something crazy.
Okay, what about you, Frank? Is Shuri dead?
Nah, I don't think she's dead. I think in this next movie, what I hope to happen is that her and Starks team up and have a meeting of the minds and come up with some kind of divisive way of defeating Thanos using their technological expertise. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I don't believe Shuri's dead because Starks is going to need her. He's just coming down from outer space. He's all messed up in the game, and when he comes back to Earth, they're gonna, the remaining people, they're gonna need to join forces. So I'm hoping to see Starks and Shuri link up and come up with something, come up with an idea to defeat Thanos. I don't think she's dead.
Okay. For me,
I don't want to believe.
Don't want to believe it. I got you. For me, this is yet another time where I think this is dumb. People are not thinking for themselves. I agree with you 100%, Chuck. If Shuri was dead, they would have shown it. And don't give me this not mess about they didn't know how big Black Panther was going to be. It don't have anything to do with nothing. The Russo brothers know what the heck they're doing. If Shuri was dead, we would have seen her be dead. But she's too important a character, not necessarily from the standpoint of being popular, but she is next in line for succession for Wakanda. So that means if T'Challa is dead, then she is the one that has to fight in order to be in charge. She's the next one. So if both of the main people that could be the ruler of Wakanda were dead, that would be a really, really, really big deal. Okay, I think that she's going to be jockeying for a position in Wakanda because what's his name, M'Baku is still around. Now we don't know M'Baku's intentions. Like in Black Panther, we all know M'Baku's always been a bad guy, but he actually ended up being a good guy in Black Panther and also Infinity War. So perhaps he'll just say, "Hey, sure, you got it. I got your back." Or perhaps he'll say, like, "No, what? Y'all follow T'Challa and you see what happens." So now,
that's exactly his point of view. I know.
Right?
he gonna hurry up. Because I remember when his Black Panther, he was like, "We're gonna let this kingdom go to some boy or something." He couldn't even protect his own father. Like, yeah, right. I know Shuri is. He going right after her. Like, that's an easy win. She can't use no tech either. Yeah, let's go throw her off this waterfall.
He's going off the waterfall. Right? I definitely think that Wakanda is going to play a really big part in this movie as far as what happens to them. Because the thing about it is that Wakanda was hidden for hundreds of years. Now they're going to come out, and as soon as they come out, they've got a civil war. Well, no, before they came out. But as soon as they come out, they've got they're attacked by aliens. They get a big portion of their army killed, and then half their people are destroyed. Nah, we going back on the ground, bro. We ain't messing with none of y'all people. W people. You know what I mean? So Shuri is going to be the one that's in charge of making that happen. All right, guys. Last question. I am all out of shirts. I was able to pull off 2 more. I got this Doctor Strange shirt that doesn't really fit, but it works on me. But I wouldn't walk around with this unless I got the, I got boobs instead of pecs right now, so it would be PG-13. Oh, last one. The scrolls will show up. Go ahead, Frank. The scrolls will show up.
Oh, you asked me? Oh, I thought you was asking Charlie. My bad. I don't think the scrolls will show up, nor do I want them to show up because I don't like the scrolls. They don't interest me at all. And that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I think I got enough scrolls off of Captain Marvel. I'm kind of good with the scrolls. They just like that movie was underwhelming. The scrolls were underwhelming. I don't really look at them as a threat. The way the Kree just massacred them with like 4 dudes, they beat like a whole army of them. So, I don't know. I think that their troops got, it's like they got kind of taken out on that first movie. So I don't really see how they're that much of a threat. And she was able to just walk on a bus and just figure out who they were, just by looking around, So I don't think that's that big. So yeah, no scrolls. They can wait for a while with scrolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the last question, I am ashamed to admit that I agree. There will not be any scrolls in this movie. But again, that was our show.
Definitely.
If you like what we did, if you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you leave your comments and become a part of our conversation. And as usual, you got to subscribe to the vibe.
And it's gotta be Cinnamon Toast Project. That's the only thing that's soothing my soul. Turn on the TV to